Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? We live? We live? Welcome to Shot the Culture, where we shot the culture through conversations and content that leads to actions, and those actions lead to results. I'm Dom.
I'm Kirk Rich.
Hey, man, we got a special guest here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
It's your boy Eric Stackz from my rap mentor, and I'm a rapper and rap coach and entrepreneur.
Eric Stackz. Eric Stackz.
Welcome.
Welcome. First, thank you for taking this.
Thank you.
We gonna chop it up. We're gonna give the people what they need, what they want, and what they need to hear.
Most definitely.
Go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do to set the foundation of your credibility for what we about to talk about.
Okay. For those who don't know, and behind under a rock, I'm a rapper and rap coach. And for as far as you that don't know what a rap coach is, I pretty much teach rappers how to rap, build fans, and make money with their career from basically a grassroots kind of situation.
Explain what you mean by grassroots situation.
So what I found out doing music for a while, a lot of artists, they struggle with connections, money, and just the overall knowledge of knowing how to even brand themselves. So I created programs and strategies that could teach an artist from pretty much square zero, assuming their music is decent, from square zero to at least making six figures or at least making a living with their music.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Square zero.
Yeah. Some of their music decent, of course. I mean, they gotta make some good music, right? But I could definitely take them from square zero if they follow and put in the work.
Can you really make six figures as an independent artist, though, bro?
You can, but in my opinion, like, granted, there's different ways to do it, but I think that people are doing it wrong. When you're coming from like the grassroots situation, it's better to approach it more like an entrepreneur. So I think everybody that's coming up now is approaching it more like they want to approach it like Drake or approach it like Juice WRLD or something. And to be honest with you, most of us don't have enough budget or the connections or even outlets to do it at that level. So I pretty much teach how to take your overall brand, make money from a certain part of your brand, and then invest it into your music.
Okay. So can you would you care to elaborate on that? So let's say if I'm independent, right, and I have one song out, could I take this model that you're using and apply that to what I have going on?
It's really not the song. So what I'm teaching is, right, let's say for instance you're a comic book rapper. Let's say you rap about comic book, right? So what I teach is instead of just focusing on the music, because let's be real, at the beginning, you're gonna be spending more money trying to invest into the song. Let's be real. Like, come on, you're not going to most likely go viral. Let's be real. So I teach people how to basically, let's say if your brand is comic book, right? So I teach them how to brand themselves properly, get the following up, and then they take the money and then invest it into their music. So prime example, when you first drop your first couple songs, you're most likely not going to go viral. You ain't going to make any significant money. If anything, you're going to lose money. So instead of just, how can I say it? Instead of just spending money on music, if you want to make money fast, you take your comic book brand and then you throw a comic book convention. You sell comic book merch. You go on YouTube, and y'all know about YouTube. I see our YouTube channel. You can monetize your channel by doing comic book commentary. Then you take that money and then you invest it into your music career and create a whole ecosystem. So it's kind of like when Rihanna makes music, she also does makeup. That's an extension of her brand. Now, Rihanna doesn't have to take the makeup money and put it into her music because she's not independent, but that's the point. OP did music.
Eric, I think we losing you, Eric.
Yeah, I think hold on. This it went a little choppy, bro.
Hold on, let me.
Let's see.
All right.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, start from comic book convention. If you got a comic book rapping brand, how you would tell them how to monetize through YouTube to do comic book commentary.
You can do comic book commentary, which obviously you can get paid for advertisement on YouTube. You can also throw a convention outside. You could probably do live signings, do a comic book convention, charge them, or you could take comic book merch, sell it online, and then take that money and then invest the money into your music career. So similar to like how Rihanna, her extension brand, I call it extension brand. She has makeup. Let's say if she was the independent Rihanna, it'll take her forever to hit 6 figures, most likely trying to start off in music. It's going to take forever. So instead, I'll teach Rihanna to take her makeup money that's a part of her brand, because people are going to buy that faster, take that money and then invest it into the music career. Or like P. Diddy. I use P. Diddy as another example. P. Diddy, although he do music, he also is a lifestyle brand. So I'll teach the independent P. Diddy how to take the Ciroc money, start a brand around that, get the money to fund it, and then put it into the music. And then it makes sense because it's still a part of his brand. So it's not like I'm a policeman on the side and then I'm doing rap music on the side. It's all together. So that's what I pretty much teach.
Right. I like that. Because you said something, that's really key. Like the extension brand, right? Thinking of, so you're talking about basically finding a way, finding something within the artist's brand for them to be able to identify with, like pick a segment in the market and then monetize that. And then let that play into the music, let that fund the music.
Yep. And because it's the same, you don't have to necessarily separate it because it's still the same. It's just a more tangible part of your brand that you can sell to people more tangibly.
Right. Okay. So what do you think is, if you're looking for, like, let's say you have like the perfect student, right? You're the rap mentor. What type of mindset does the perfect student, the perfect mentee have for you?
I'll say they need to be hardworking and they need to be open-minded and think more entrepreneurial. So what I realized when I run into a lot of artists, and I get it. We look up to the Drakes and the Tupacs or whatever, right? But we try to be so much like them at the point that they're at now in their career, but we don't realize we need to think like them when they first started off. So the perfect mentee to me would be someone that works hard and has an open mind and willing to make content, have an open mind, and need to realize that we're in a content marketing strategy era. This is not the back in the day where you could just drop some music and then, now granted, I'm not saying if you got $1 million budget, you can shove that in our face 1,000,000 times. I'm not saying it can't work, but most of us ain't got that type of advantage. So they got to realize most likely you're going to have to use a content marketing strategy. And even the top artists, even if they was to use it, they'll blow up probably even more too. So I'll say hardworking and have an open mind to know that this is a content marketing strategy era.
I want to throw you a curveball based off of what you just said, Eric. All right, so you said I'm pretty sure you figure out what the extension of these artists' brand is through conversations and through their music as a mentor, right? So let's say I come to you and I'm sliding in my music, and that's all I'm doing. What's my extension brand off of that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that one too, because usually street rappers, they got limited. So let's say you sliding, right? But let's say your overall let's say your overall real deep in your music, you always talk about motivation. Let's say Meek, he started off sliding on motherfuckers too, right? But he always had this motivational aspect. So if you know about what the hood go through, maybe you can start an event for like people in prison. Maybe you can create motivational quotes or a motivational brand for people in the hood and then sell stuff that way. You know what I mean?
And you would coach them on the steps to do that.
So first I'll look at their brand and I'll listen to their music. I'll analyze it and I'll say, okay, what can I find tangible about their brand in order to sell a more tangible product? Now, if they don't have one, you need to think of one. You feel me? But for the most part, everybody unknowingly has an underarching thing in their brand. They just doing it unconsciously. I mean, subconsciously, you know what I mean? So usually that's what I do.
Nice.
And that actually is an extension of my next question. Great segue. You've been good at these segues, Kurt. So that you finding that in the music, that means you're really listening and you're really analyzing. So you kind of answered something for me. I've been pushing. I think 99% of the people that say they make music just for the art and just for the fun of it are lying.
Yeah, I think they lie. They lie.
Right. Because it's let's be real, it is expensive. It's an expensive hobby. If you just doing music for art, you're paying for studio time, you're writing. Even if you're not writing, you're talking. So it's a version of writing. You're thinking of the song. You're finding a beat. You're going to the studio. You're spending time, and you have to find distro. You have to make sure it's going on all the platforms. Then you post about it.
Then you got to market, pay for ads.
You got to market. It's expensive because you're spending time on it. Even if you're not spending a lot of money, you're spending time. So there's a why to why you want to do this. What was your why?
I'm gonna be real with you. I've been doing this for a long time. So my why was mostly love. I'm gonna be real with you. I know it sounds cheesy. It was mostly love. And then I'll say, me personally, I always wanted to get paid for something I love doing. So for people that don't know, I grew up in Chicago in foster homes and shit. So when I was younger, it used to be just an escape. And then after a while, I felt like shit, well, you can monetize it. I mean, why do people go to college? I like to believe the goal is to go to college and find something you love doing and also can monetize it. And then two, I think it just fits my natural personality. Like I'm a creative person, and let's be real, I like a little bit of attention. A little clout don't hurt, you know. Some chicks don't hurt, you know what I mean? That come with it. But I'll say mostly love. It fits my creative outlet, and a little bit of the women, a little bit of the money, a little bit of clout. You know what I mean?
Who was popping when you first started? Who was your inspirations? Like,
shit, we gotta go. I was a kid, so what's crazy was what made me want to do music wasn't even like rap. It was Michael Jackson. So I was like, I saw like the moonwalking tape and shit. Don't judge me. So I saw like the Purple Rain movie and shit. So I was like, damn, I want to be like them, right? But I'm a dingy ass kid from the hood, and then they look like superheroes to me. So I'm like, no, I can't be like that. So I'm like, I just kind of put it on the back burner. Like, I know I want to do music, but they look like superheroes. I'm a dingy ass kid from the hood. I just don't see it, right? So then later down the line, what ended up happening was my older cousin, we used to play video games. This is when I got taken into foster homes. And he used to bring Bone Thug CDs. And we used to play the game. You know how back then you play the fucking game on the PlayStation and shit? And you had like a music player. So he used to bring Bone Thug CDs. And I'm like, who is this? So then I used to just study Bone Thugs. That's how I learned how to like flip my flow, do different pitches. Then later I got into Tupac, then Biggie. Then I started studying underground artists, and the list just go on and on and on and on and on. But I say those are my early kind of influences. Outkast too. Outkast. Then later I got into the Kanye's, the Drakes, and I even studied shit outside of music. Like I even studied certain punk rock songs, and I just got like super fucking obsessed with music in general. Rap was my main core, but I got obsessed with music in general.
Okay.
Bro, I'm first 13 minutes. You're a nerd.
Yes. Still is.
And bro, this is perfect for both. Actually, our brand and your brand too. So it's like you're literally the answer to the things that me and Kirk have been saying on here for a few months. Like people coming into the game just thinking they could just come rap, not have any knowledge, not know how things go, and then they get mad because things don't go the way that they want to. Like you just said how you fell in love, what you nerded out about, why you like people, why you like Bone Thugs. When studying underground artists, like you studied the game like deeply. Now in that, I know you didn't come in thinking like I'm gonna be a mentor one day. What made you go? What made you say I need to teach people about this? Because you know a lot of people, you know, Thug said it on Expeditiously. He was like, Jay got to teach me that. But a lot of people don't do that. They learn it, they make money off of it, and they don't want to tell nobody how. What made you go, I want to show people how I'm doing it?
It's a long journey, right? So after I started getting the foster homes, I've been studying music for years and years and years. I'm talking about super studying. Lauryn Hill too. Shout out to Lauryn Hill. I studied her too. Yeah. So I used to just study the writing, like I'm talking about obsessed, the writing, the wordplay, the similes, the metaphors, the flow switches, every fucking molecule of rap, even down to the Big Daddy Kanes and Rakim. every fucking molecule of rap I used to study. So by this time, I'm in my low 20s, but I've been already rapping like 10 years and shit. So I'm like way advanced. Motherfuckers wondering like, how shorty rapping like this? So I always wondered when I was younger. No. Matter of fact, I ended up meeting one of my homies when I started working for the airport. And we still rap together now. And he was a little older than me. So one day, I'm still fresh, foster home mentality, working in the airport, still like, in that mentality. So one day, me and him, we linked together by music. We used to kind of have like the same love. We like chicks, fly stuff, both worked in the airport. So he invited me over one day. We heard one of my songs, and then we ended up writing one of our first little back then viral songs for the airport. So one day he had these CDs, and it was Tony Robbins. I don't know if y'all familiar with Tony Robbins. Like Tony Robbins, kind of the Ty Lopez kind of stuff. Yeah. So one day he showed it to me, and I feel like it just opened my mind. Like it really clicked, because I was looking for the answers to life. I didn't have a mom or dad to teach me. I've been living life, figuring shit out on my own. So when he brought that to me, it clicked with me. So as time went on, years went on, I always wondered, what would I do if I wasn't a rapper? I just asked myself that. I'm always talking in my motherfucking head, you feel me? So like, what would I do if I wasn't a rapper? I was like, I'll probably be a life coach. That's what I figured out down the line. I'll probably end up being a life coach. But I kept that just in the back of my head. I didn't think nothing of it. Just kept going with the music. So then I ended up joining this network marketing club after this. So I just kept hearing, when I used to go to conferences, I kept hearing the word market. You got to market. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I'm a curious motherfucker. So I started Googling marketing. So then when I started studying the marketing for my network marketing business, I was like, I think a lot of these strategies can actually go into a self-sufficient artist. I was like, So I thought about it. So I tried it on me. And then when I started practicing on me, because who's better else to practice it on, right? Yourself, right? So I started practicing on me, and then the shit started growing. My following started growing. And people used to inbox me, how you get your followers up like this? How you do this? How you get your followers up? They used to just keep inboxing me over and over. And I'm spending a lot of time in the inbox answering them. So then eventually, as time went on, I noticed that I started getting into YouTubers, like YouTube culture, whether it was like Men's Help, other music channels. And then I noticed that a lot of stuff they was telling me on the channel, I already knew already. I'm like, I already know this. They ain't really telling me nothing different. They just reconfirming what I already thought. So then I asked myself another question. Well, how? And then I also noticed too that I tend to used to subscribe to like men channels and music marketing channels, but I didn't subscribe to my favorite rapper channel. So I asked myself, why did I subscribe to them, but not my favorite rappers? Then I thought about it. Well, they're valuable. They have value. So then I asked myself, well, how can you be a valuable rapper? I thought that shit was so corny. A valuable rapper. I thought that shit was so corny.
Actually
some years ago. This probably like 7 years ago type shit. So I thought that shit was corny. A valuable rapper. Yeah, I thought that shit was because I'm from the hood, but I'm from the hood. I'm from the suburbs, so I be into like one part of me by me into some hood shit, then the next part of me into like some geeky ass shit. So I'm like, valuable rapper. That shit don't sound right. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna figure out a way to be a valuable rapper. Yeah. So then I started getting onto other music channels, and I realized they wasn't telling me nothing I didn't know, and I felt I knew more than them. So then I asked myself, well, how you gonna be a valuable? I mean, who gonna make you a valuable rapper? Who people gonna ask you? You got a certificate or some shit? That's what I thought back then, right? But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, I don't know if they got a fucking certificate. All I know is they seem like they know what they're talking about. So then I merged. I was like, you know what? If I could be, I would want to be a life coach, but I'm already pretty far in my music. At this time, I was pretty far. A little bit too far to turn back. So I'm like, how can I fuse it? Okay, you know what? Maybe I could be a rap coach. It's like a life coach, but I'm talking about how to help rappers. So it kind of helped my passion to be a life coach, but also my purpose. Well, I feel like life coach is my purpose and my passion is rapping. So I kind of just fused it, and it did the fucking rap coaching shit. Then I ended up moving to Vegas. I got a long story. This is long as fuck. Then I ended up moving to Vegas. So I still thought being a valuable rapper was still kind of corny. I wasn't like fully with it. So I used to kind of keep the brand separate. So I ended up moving to Vegas. And then my homie, he ended up getting me a job with the radio station. And then he told me just mix them together. He's like, fuck it, just mix it together. And I mixed it and my shit started taking off faster. And I started making more money faster too.
Nice. That's
to your homie.
Absolutely. You say some that was pretty, no pun intended, valuable. because I ask people now, especially as an adult and as an adult artist, is like, why do I want to listen to your music? What value are you adding to me? You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a kid and you're just listening to stuff, you ain't got nothing to do with some homework, maybe go to practice. But as an adult, you're asking me as an adult to listen to your music. What am I going to get from this? You know what I'm saying? So value, when you said valuable rapper to me, that's actually super duper dope. That's actually super dope. So like, what is one way where you feel like, okay, you see a rapper, like you said, of course their music has to be decent.
At least
so
decent,
like, what is like, if somebody heard that phrase like that, how can I add value in terms of me being a rapper and me being the creative part, but I don't know much about the business? Like, what's a quick answer that you could give them?
As far as, I go back to the same thing I'm saying, as far as like being an extension brand. See, my coaching, that's my extension brand. That's mine. That's what I'm good at, to add value. But value is subjective. It don't have to be nothing like a grand scheme, philosophical, this big thing necessarily. It just has to be something that's pretty tangible, because let's be real, art is kind of subjective. But like I said, to use the comic book situation again, if you're a comic book rapper, right? And then maybe you might recommend people on YouTube to the hottest comic books, you're valuable to your niche. You know what I mean? So what's valuable to me might not be valuable to y'all. You just have to be valuable to your niche. And that's where it's going to go down to when I say you have to know where your brand's at. So you just need to be valuable to your niche for the most part. Most likely, what I find valuable, Chief Keef on 63rd might not find my brand valuable, but the people that follow me do. So it's just about being valuable to your niche.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's another thing. I mean, I know Dom knows it because he does a lot of SEO. I see you're nice with the marketing on the internet too. But to the person literally, like, I run across these a lot and I can't believe they exist. Me and Dom talk about it all the time. It's like, hey, we give people too much credit for thinking they should know more than what they know. So when you say niche, can you break that down and explain what do you mean by niche?
All right, so a niche is pretty much finding a subsection of an already popular market. So prime example, you might have shoes, then you might have Nike shoes, then Nike shoes for men. That's your niche. So it's pretty much taking like a popular market, and then you probably niche, go down maybe 2 more layers, make it a little more specific to a smaller subsection of an audience.
Okay.
So most people, when they market, they try to go broad. And the problem is when you go broad, you don't have the money to compete broad, and you can't compete with Drake, whoever you think you can't compete with them. So if I'm a ladies man rapper and I'm trying to compete broad, I can't compete with Drake. I'm never going to win. But if I niche down to maybe, let's say I'm a ladies man that talk about Black love, now the market shrinks and I have a better chance of competing with less money.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you can always, once you fill that market up, you can always spread out a little bit later, because people think like they got to be stuck to that shit forever. But it's better to be the big fish in a small sea, outgrow the tank, and then get a new one than to try to compete right away with the big boys if you ain't got that cash or those connections.
I like that.
I like that.
You know, that's a look.
Do this, man. I do this, man. I do this.
You got to time step that. So,
yeah, I'm clipping it. I see it. 20.
Yeah, because that's when I think of somebody like Sexy Red, right? Like, she's taking off right now, but I feel like she's perfect. Like, she's niched down though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very specific audience that she's talking to, and she's maximizing, like you said, and then blowing up from there. It's not just the hot girl talk, it's the hot ghetto. I'm riding with my nigga. I got the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm doing the crimes with my nigga. I ain't the pretty girl that's over here. No, I'm the bottom joint. I'm the bottom chick, and we from the South with it. And
that is a unique perspective. The bottom joint.
Yeah. So it seems like the world talking about it because she's captured that niche. Like, she's not competing with the Megs or whoever, like, trying to be hot. I'm the hood. No, I'm the one he doing the crime with. I'm the one holding the gun. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think of when you were talking about niching down. That's what I thought of. And I think a lot of people need to hear that because, like you said, they start off, and one thing I'm not a fan of is an artist who people don't know and they taking pictures on the internet. Like, You know, you know what I'm saying? And they just
uh,
all over the place with it and nowhere at the same time. So that right there just shows that you actually know what you're talking about. So I gotta salute you for that. I gotta
and I know
salute you
y'all
for that.
know, so y'all know. I know y'all know, so y'all know. I know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
Yes, that was very specific. So next question is one that you talked about, why you started rapping. Was there a moment in your music making career that made you feel okay? Like, what was that aha moment in your music making career that made you say, "Oh, I could take this, capture it, bottle it, and show other people how to do this"?
Well, so basically, what made me want to like actually show them how to do it?
Yeah, yeah. Or was there something that
Just
you
my
feel like, like that part that you thought, you know what, I'm nice. Like people can't accomplish this like I could, or people can't really do this if they were just sitting and thinking. You know what I mean?
as far as the
And then,
music or the overall brand.
yeah, like the music and the brand. Like, yeah, like you as an artist first. Like, how can I take this? Like, what accomplishment was it that you did that made you say, okay, now I could bottle this up and show other people how to do it?
When I started to feel like most of my favorite artists that I looked up to, when I feel like I can hold my own with them, and I'm in my low 20s, like I'm very like honest with myself, and even my most favorite artists, I felt like if I had the same everything, if people was being real and didn't care about the fame, I could hold my own with them. Then it got to the point where I noticed I can rap on any beat, do any style. It was easy. That work I put in, so I felt confident. Like yeah, I'm that dude. I just got to get famous with it, but it was that point where I just realized like my favorite artists don't look so scary to me no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when I realized like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Good. That's dope.
And that feeling didn't happen overnight. You had to build that confidence.
It took at least like to even feel like I was good enough to even get in the arena. It took like 10 years at least for me to feel like confident I can at least hold my own.
Y'all hear this?
Because I've been doing it since a kid. So I've been doing it probably like 21 years now, like at least the studying part. Maybe not career-wise, but the studying, listening to music. I'm talking about super studying for like 20 years now. Still doing it too. I ain't one of them people like, oh, the new shit. You know what I mean? I study it too. I might not like all of it, but there's certain stuff I can take out. I study it, keep me fresh. So I'm still a geek about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I watched some of your content and you got good content. You how to do this, how to do that, why I did this, why I do that. It was a video that stuck out to me though that I want to ask you about, and you ain't got to say the name because I actually talked about this happening to me last week. I will check that episode out, and I didn't say the name, but you said you got it was your industry scam video. You want to explain what happened?
You talking about the one I was warning the artists about the scams?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened was I ended up getting scammed a while back from it's actually one of my idols I told y'all earlier. I'm not gonna say, but it's one of my first rap idols. But it wasn't them. It was, let's say, one of their relatives. I'm just gonna keep it like that. I ended up getting scammed by one of. You said what?
And this is confirmed.
No, I know. I FaceTime them. We spoke like FaceTime. I seen them. This ain't no fake email. Unless he had like the first deep fake on Instagram Live, then it was him. You know what I mean? So he scammed me, right? So then I started noticing like years later, like a lot of artists was getting scammed, or they'll inbox me and say, hey, look at this. Now I'm no businessman, but I don't claim to be like no business coach or nothing, but a lot of that shit was like, you could tell that was scams, like a lot of the contracts, or they'll try to get them to take their money. They'll try to give them their money and don't pay them, or they'll do this shit where like they'll write the feature for you, but don't clear it. And they know the label wasn't going to clear it. That's a scam. Come on now.
Yeah.
If I ask you for a verse, and you know the label's not going to clear the verse, but you take my money, scam it. So I noticed a lot of that shit was going on. So then I end up like realizing that a lot of independent artists is getting scammed because a lot of these people take advantage of like the unknowing of an artist. And you know, a lot of us be wide-eyed, we be glowing, we think you can blow up overnight. So a lot of times I notice that a lot of people take advantage of that. Meanwhile, I be giving like some people even accuse me of being a scam, and I'm like, I'll answer the inbox. How do you know I'm a scam? I'm like, you can go on my content. You can tell I'm not bullshit. My content is no fluff. I'm giving you step 1, 2, 3 how to do shit. I'm not even selling you a dream. I didn't ask this for money. They got so confused that they think the good information is a scam, and then the information where you can meet Drake overnight is the truth. So I had to make a video just to kind of put that out there. You know what I mean?
Yo, I want to. You just said a question that I had. Why do artists believe crazy lies over the harsh truth?
Because delusional. Delusional. I was an artist too.
You breaking up a little bit. Eric.
Yeah, I think hold on, wait, we got to get him back. That's what
back?
I want to hear. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So why do artists believe crazy lies over the harsh truth?
Y'all back?
Yeah, I don't like say something. Go ahead. Oh, I think he's still frozen. This is the one. This is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I want to know.
Yeah, cause we see it, bro. Like you pitch because I seen it. I pitched it happened to me before. I pitched playlisting. I was playlisting the guy. He kept hitting me. Why it ain't going up more? Why it ain't going up more? I was like, bro, this is organic playlisting. I'm putting your song on playlists that are real. Like, if you think that I could get you from here to here super duper quick overnight, like, bro, hit me up 2 days later. Like, what you think gonna happen in 2 days, bro? And you got 10 followers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then I seen he obviously went elsewhere because I clicked a couple days later, like after he stopped hitting me, you know, it was dead. Then bro hopped to 5,000 monthly listeners. I'm like, so bro, you got that in 2 days? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Then if people don't even know how to leverage, that's my thing. People don't even know how to leverage the fake boost. Like, what you gonna do with it? I had somebody that did that. Like, I had somebody on the team one time who's crazy. He does like tech for a bunch of big productions, big shows and productions. So he put some bots on one of my posts, and like at the time, he thought he was doing me a favor. So it's just random. I'm like, bro, I instantly knew it was bots because it had like 4,000 likes, but then when I went to the insights, and it was like you only interacted with like 12 profiles. So I was like, bro, what is this? And he's like, yeah, bro, I'm just looking out, man. I'm just giving it that look. And no sales came from that. Like, no, there was nothing that came from that. So I just want to know, like, what's the point of the fake stuff if you can't even leverage it, or if you're not even at a point to leverage it? Or why do you think people do that?
Bro, listen. For the look. Because when I click the link and I see, oh, dang, Kirk got a post with 4,000 likes, bro. Must have been talking that gas. I click it. That's all they're going to see. Bro, think about it. Me and you play sports, but we know coaches dig. People that really know dig. Elliot Richardson, AC Florida High.
Whoa.
20 tackles a game. No, I ain't even gonna say that. Hold on. No dig.
Police talk.
I see Elliott and them. Hold on, they held Blythewood to 12 points. hold on. Versus Buddy over here, he had 30 tackles. The score was 45-40 though, and they lost.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go look at this.
Yeah, y'all hear me?
I'm gonna go look at this 12 tackle game or 12-point game versus the number one team in the state.
Right.
So it goes back to
what
Eric. It goes back to what Eric was saying. Delusion.
Yeah. So, question: why do you think most artists believe the delusional lie over the harsh truth?
Because let's be real, the delusion is more sexy. If I come up to you telling you you need money, you need to come with a extension brand, build your brand, take the money in your brand, take that money, invest into your, it's not sexy. Let's keep it G. That's ugly, right? Mm-hmm. So the delusion is usually shiny and pretty and shit. Like, yeah, just drop this $50 and I'll let you open up for Drake. So I think a lot of times the scam shit is just more sexy. Mom want to hit that fast lick. They don't want to put the work in. If I come with all this geeky stories I just told you about how I got to where I had to go, if I told somebody you had to do this, they wouldn't do it. So I think that's why.
Ooh, what? Okay. So here's my thing. Like, why don't more people just let people see themselves out the door in the culture if that's the case? Like, if you're not willing to do this, just like with basketball, a lot of times, coaches, the first day of tryouts, bro, no basketballs. Mm-hmm. We're doing defensive slides the whole time just to see who with it, who's, you know what I'm saying? Like wall sit, defensive slides, sprints. Why don't you think in hip hop people just let people see their way out the door? Like, why is hip hop the hotbed for the scams? I don't like that's what
I think I do with our culture, because I mean, let's be real. A lot of us from like the hood, or we're more attracted by hood culture, so we kind of integrate that into the business. You know what I mean? A lot of it's kind of predominantly ran by, or at least glamorized by, hood culture. So you know how that is. One for trying to hit licks and finesse and finagle. And then I'll say we're the most entrepreneurial like music genre right now. So because it's more entrepreneurial, it's kind of hard. If you don't really know what you're doing, it's kind of hard to know the difference between the scams and the non-scams, because you really, really got to know what you're doing. So I think that's why it's mostly in our culture. It's just the way we run it. Because I mean, you can't tell like a Taylor Swift artist, hey, I could, because theirs is pretty straightforward. I think other like genres, they go by the more traditional route to getting on. Rap is so many different ways. So people that know a little bit can take advantage of that for like unknown artists.
That's true. Dang, that's true. That is very true.
Man, I don't get it. Like, and also the scammers keep scamming because the scams keep working.
Yeah.
Because, bro, like, if I'm like you said, and I've been in the exact same situation as you, where we're like, bro, I'm showing you the steps, I'm giving you the sauce, I'm telling you what to do. So why do you think this is a scam? But you would rather me. All right. We got people in here.
I'm trying to be political, man.
Go ahead and say it, bro.
Say it, man.
All right, so it's almost like, all right, me and my boy Kurt, we've been boys since 9th grade, and so we've seen the trends and we've seen what's been going on, and we've always laughed at the girl that exposes people with the screenshots, and everyone that does this, it's a nice guy. It's a guy saying, "Hey, beautiful, how was your day? Good morning. What you doing?" They don't ever post the convo when Buddy come in there, handsome fella, blinged out, nice car, nice clothes, Hey, I'm trying to. What's good?
Yeah.
They don't ever post that guy or that conversation and redact them. It's always that guy. And I feel the exact same way in this. You wanted me to come in your inbox with the Rollie and the car with the rims on it and a Grammy and tell you, hey, bro, 10,000 right now. I can get you just like this. You would say yeah to that versus I got $100 for a course to show you everything and you could do this by yourself. Why? Why?
I don't know. I think we're attracted to, like, a lot of us attracted to just shiny toys. We want a quick fix.
Bro,
We don't want to put that work in.
That's terrible, though.
You know what I mean? You know, like the 6-pack abs in 3 days. You know, they like those ads.
Yeah. Or the little
You know what I mean?
you put in your stomach and it just
They like the six-pack abs, 6 days, 6 hours. They like those type of ads. You feel me,
bro? I really want to dig into that. Like I tell people all the time, if I was in school right now, I would literally, that would be my dissertation. Why are we attracted to the quick way versus learning it and doing it ourselves? Even if the quick way is a scam. Like, bro, you like you just said, bro, you're not getting abs in 3 days. You 500 pounds, bro. You're not getting, like, it's like you recorded your song on your phone, bro. You're not going to get 1 million streams in a week.
Yeah.
But they heard the story somewhere before, bro.
Like, that be my thing, bro. Like you hit me up 2 days later, where my streams at, bro? Are you serious? You want me to tell you how bad this song is? I'm really playlisting you. I'm really hitting curators up. Can you add this? I'm not sending this to a bot and telling it to add 100,000 streams.
Yeah, from India.
Like,
and they all from India
thing,
and
shit.
Bro. Right.
Huh?
Right.
Your fan base from India, we check your analytics and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bangladesh. I don't even know where that's at.
Yeah.
See, and that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, bro.
I just feel
like those YouTube pages, like you study, I study YouTube. Why do the YouTube pages make $1 million in 7 days? Got 1 billion views.
Hey.
Why? if I could make $1 million in 7 days, everybody would be a millionaire.
Now I probably wouldn't be on YouTube, right?
Right.
Like, come on. Oh, and I ain't even say, since we talking about it, and I do this I get on the rant. I do the rant, and then I get. But this is me and Kirk was talking about this off air. There was a time, and you seem like you in our era. There was a time, every lottery winner, somebody would create a fake page for the lottery winner and say, follow this page and share this, and I'll give you a percentage of my winnings. This page would get 1 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
And bro probably won like 50 million.
Yeah.
And you know what y'all was doing? Sharing it and saying, just in case this is true.
Yep.
So let me get this straight. You clicked on this. You think if I win 100 million, the first thing I'm gonna do as an 80-year-old woman, I'm gonna create a Twitter and tell people I'm gonna give them my money, bro.
Oh man!
Like, why do y'all believe this stuff, bro?
Hey, bro. Hey,
I know
bro,
why.
You know the modern version.
I know why. It's playing.
You know the modern version, the money flip.
It's
200 to 2,000.
It's playing into insecurity, and it's playing into something you want. It's because you want it. If somebody tell you this, it sounds good, and it's playing into your thoughts. It's playing right into your pain point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what scam. Like, I'm telling you, like I be telling people this all the time, and they be like, oh, here you go again. I ain't thinking like that. No, you got to, bro. y'all don't think the scammers ain't having Zoom calls with other scammers to show them how to scam?
Uh-huh.
Like, think about it. It's a new scam every year. Y'all think they just coming up with the scam and trying it? No, they coming together and scamming together.
Yeah, like a lot of the artists. I don't know if you heard, like a lot of them artists was doing like them little inbox scams and stuff. Like a lot of like artists with names. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of that. Put you on a mixtape. Like what? What?
Man, listen, man. Y'all gotta stop, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop. That's all I'm saying. Stop it, bro. Like, it's nothing. It's not easy. Nothing easy, bro. Think about that. What's easy in life? Like, I'm not saying you got to live a hard life or like your life should be hard. But if you sit down and think right now, what's something you're good at that was just easy? You had to work to get good at what you're good at.
I don't know anything I was good at. Yeah.
Yeah.
My boy Kurt was a D1 football player. I played college basketball. You're a rapper that makes 6 figures a month. You didn't just roll out of the bed, make a song, and start doing that. You just explain your journey. Nothing we're good at just came to us easy. And now a lot of y'all gonna hear this and say, but there's natural athletes, there's natural people that know how to do stuff. Technically, and it goes back to my post, the talent post, Kurt. You're talented, but you're not good at it. Like there's talented artists, but they're not good at being an artist. Because what comes with that is you gotta, like you said, you do the pods, you gotta go to the interviews, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You're talented, but you're not good at being an artist. My boy good at basketball, but he's not good at being a basketball player. There might be people good at football. They're gifted, athletic, but they're not good at being a football player. So don't mix the two. Don't mix. You can separate the art and the artist, or you can separate the product and the artistry.
So that kind of brings me to my next question for you, Eric. Because Dom, you said, you could be talented at something but not good at it. So let's say you have this ultra talented person. I'm talking about in the booth. They're just they crush it in the booth, right? But that's the limit. That's it. So like a basketball, that's 7-footer. They could shoot from the paint. That's it, right? What type of team, if you're their rap coach, you're their rap mentor, what type of team are you building around the person who's just super nice with the music, but that's it? No social media presence, no nothing.
The two things they're gonna have to do, they're gonna have to learn it themselves, or they're gonna have to find people to close those gaps. So if they're really good at just making music, right, but they don't know how to market, then they're gonna have to find a marketer. They're gonna have to find a videographer. Like, they're gonna have to find a team to close those gaps pretty much. Now, I do recommend most artists who at least have a great general idea of everything else. So like, I don't know everything. And honestly, to be honest with you, if I knew what I knew now, I probably, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't try to be so perfect at everything I'm damn near perfect at now. But I'll say if I had an artist that was starting today and he was good at being an artist, I'll say study a general idea of the other positions, but try to get someone to fill it. And the reason why I say study a general idea, at least have a general idea of each position, is because you will know if they're good or not, and you know how to pick them. So prime example, if I'm just good and nice at just rapping, right? But maybe I don't know how to market, I'll probably study a general idea how to do it. And then I try to find somebody that's better than my general idea. So just fill in the gaps. And it comes to being self-aware. And artists got to know how to have a nice combination of being confident and cocky, but being real. You just got to be real with yourself. If you're not great, try to find someone to fill those gaps. I mean, I still do it now. I don't know everything. Like, I'm not like the business guru or some shit, you feel me? So I'm trying to find people to fill that. Now, I do have a great general idea. So I know if you're playing me, I don't know if you fucking trying to take money playing me. I know that, right? But I try to find people to fill those gaps. So I'll say if you're nice with it, then try to find people to fill those gaps. And until then, because it's not going to be overnight, at least get a good general idea of it. It's books, it's podcasts, it's courses from me, of course, that you can learn how to do that. This is not 1990. So information is free. at least decent enough information is free.
Okay. And I have this question. I have $1,000, right? I just got paid. It's tax return season. I done gave money to bills.
Tax money.
I done bought my girl something. She got a birthday present. I got $1,000 I can spend on my career, right? How much of that do I need to spend in the studio, like recording, versus how much do I need to spend on like the business side or just to helping get the song out? What would you say with that?
All right, first get you a chain. I'll just play with you. Don't do that stupid shit. Don't do that stupid shit, y'all. So is this an artist that's coming from like pretty much
like nothing? So I'm young. I'm a young dude. I just see people, I don't know, popping up with 100,000 followers. The song is dope. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, how this song got in my face. Like, what do I need? How much do I need to spend in the studio versus what else I need to do with that money?
All right, so if I'm coming from like a situation where I ain't got that much money, it's a tax return, meaning I don't get this 1,000 very often. This ain't like no residual 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. Realistically speaking, that ain't gonna do shit. So what I'll recommend is, right? What I would recommend is take your cell phone, create a free YouTube account, and in the meantime, do freestyles to popular songs that's in your genre. Because you can still grow a fan base. That's literally free marketing. So if I rap like Future, I would take my phone.
Bro, what you just said?
I do this, bro. I do this. I would take my free cell phone. Let's say if I'm a Future type rapper, and I would do covers and freestyles to Future shit until I'll probably blow faster than that than actually spending money on ads, to be real with you. And I'll keep that 1,000 in my pocket. And then I'll wait and put that up, save it. Just save it. And I'll do that for a long time until I hit a threshold where I feel like it's time to level up. That's what I would do personally. I wouldn't even spend that 1,000. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Kurt laughing because I just did a video on this.
You did?
I just said
That's
this.
crazy. Yeah.
I just said the exact.
Well, see, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, I ain't capping. Ain't no fluff over here. Ain't no fluff.
Yeah.
Ain't no vague mindset shit. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
I love Chicago. You gotta be strategic. You know what I mean?
Right. Because we get a lot of, I talk to a lot of young artists or people who just started, and it's just that cycle, man. They get paid, they work a job, working 9 to 5, they go to the studio and give the engineer their money, and then they go to work again for 2 weeks, go to the studio, give the engineer their money, and it's just an ongoing cycle. And it's like there's a downplay, like you said, of things that you can do, first off, for free. Like, like they're going to, I'm talking, these are the dopest engineers, but they ain't got their sound right, their cadence right, no breath control. They couldn't, if the call came in right now today to say, go perform this song as X, they don't know the song, they perform, they rush into that blow up. So that's why I asked you earlier, like, what was that moment that made you feel like, okay, I'm nice at this, like I could take this and bottle it up. And you alluded that it took some time to get there. Like it wasn't just an overnight thing. It takes time, and that's what I think a lot of artists need to know. So would you say, what do you think is more important, the talent or like the hustle / work ethic of an artist?
Oh, work ethic by far. That's why I said, like, you at least got to at least be decent. If you're decent and you work hard as fuck, you will most likely beat a really talented person to do bare minimum work. So I believe if you had to choose one, granted, you got to at least be decent. That's why I said earlier, if your music at least decent for the most part, right? Hard work will beat talent any day. A talented dude that barely work, the hard work gonna whoop him. Even if the talent may jump you faster, eventually the hard work gonna get you in the long run. He gonna get you in the long run. So I say if I had to choose one, hard work any day.
Perfect. And just my last follow-up question in terms of this. When we're talking about in this creative field, right? You're talking about hard work as an artist. What are those tangible things? Like when you say hard work, what does that mean? Like, what am I doing?
As far as in the creative field?
Yeah.
Just the creative part and non-business, just creative part, right? You need to study. Stop just listening to these artists vaguely. Stop just only paying attention to mainstream artists. Look at mainstream artists. Look at underground artists. Honestly, I say study more underground artists because they're more feasible to your position. So I study Drake coming fresh from Degrassi more than I study Drake now. I can't do what the fuck Drake do now. So study underground artists is more feasible. Study. Ask yourself why they're doing this. Why is they talking like this? Why do they do this in an interview? Is it branding? Why they talk like this? Why do they brand like this? Who do they speak to? And really study the entirety of that artist or artist. Just don't look at, oh, dope music. It sold 1 million. What? Fuck? You know what I mean? Study everything. I'll say that. And if you just do that and be just like a fucking geek about it, you're gonna get to jump over like way more artists just blindly doing shit. Because the game's gonna change. So even if you luck up and understand what's going on now, if you're not paying attention, the game's gonna change. And if you don't know the mechanics of the game, you're not gonna evolve to the next level. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for almost at least professionally 7 years. If I wasn't paying attention to the mechanics of the game, I would have been faded out and been dated a long time ago. So pay attention. You know what I mean?
Right. I love it. Gems.
Yeah. You saw that collar gems from out the pocket gems.
Yeah.
He's saying
I love this. I do this. I love this,
bro. Like he's saying everything that we say. Like the studying aspect of the game, right? You again looking at your content, and I see you definitely have studied the game because you got like I saw some of your videos where it was like raps like this, and then I listened to some of your songs, and then you done it, and it sounds. I'm like, yo, this sound like the video. He knew what he was doing. He knew. Do you like when you're creating? Are you intentionally, purposely trying to mesh your songs with your content, or do you make your content after you make the songs?
So you saying like you meaning do
like,
I
do you use yourself basically as a case study for your content and
as
for
far
your
as like when I create my music?
Yeah, like
as far as when I create my music?
Do you purposely go in? Like, do you go in and say, hey, I made a video about this, I'm gonna do this song like this? Or do you do the content and then you go make music to follow?
The way I make music is the way I make music. I'm more so I've been an artist first and foremost before anything. So when I tell you, when I say certain things, it's just me basically telling you what I do. I'm just making it more palatable for your situation. But I'm basically just telling you, when I give this information, I'm using it on myself, and I'm just telling you my mindset practically of when I'm approaching my music. I've been doing it for so long that it's more natural to me, but I'm basically telling you my mindset for the most part.
So like the Jay-Z method, kind of like the OGJ method.
Because when I was making my music, these are all the things I thought about strategically, like down to the color of the video, down to what color I'm gonna wear with the video. Does this song have a certain color? The hook, the chorus. So now, because I've been doing it so long and I'm very intentional, I just teach what I already know for myself. You know what I mean?
Do you think the current state of hip hop is doomed?
Commercially, it's rocky. I think underground, no. I think commercially, but I think underground, no.
Why not? Why not the underground?
Because I think because they don't have the pressure of trying to relate to everybody and the pressure of trying to be McDonald's. They can be able to be more creative.
That's always my answer. Like when I see people openly say music is doomed or rap is done, I always ask, who are you listening to? What are you basing that off of? And they all, and then you know what's weird? Even the consumers lie. Y'all say y'all don't listen to the radio, but then you say music is doomed.
Yeah, if you listen to other stuff, you wouldn't think that.
Yeah, so if you were manually, are you manually clicking what you want and then saying music is doomed?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to know this, Eric, like, because we say what rappers should be doing different, right? I also feel like it's a relationship between consumer and producer. So back in the days, it was like we had these things like MTV Raps. We had BET, The Box, go back as far as you want to. But that was the job, to bring the dopest music to the forefront so that they kind of did the curation and selection for us, right? now that that's changed, independent music is everywhere. What is something that the consumer needs to do different? Because I feel like people are still in that old mindset of, if I don't see you on this platform, I'm not going to pay attention to you. I'm not going to support it publicly. I'll hit you in your inbox and say, I see you working, but I'm not going to post you until I see you on the Breakfast Club. So what's something that the consumer can do different to help the dope independent underground artists like thrive and make a living from their music?
Never rely on the fans. Never rely on them. Collectively, they're never going to do anything. I think it's up to the artist. If you're an artist, basically you're saying for the artist that's not going to probably get on Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah, or something that's like, that's not their goal.
They got to build community. So it goes back to that niche thing I'm talking about again, right? When you bring that niche, you build community. Let's be real. Most likely, you're never going to touch the world. Like, you're not Michael Jackson. You're not fucking Michael Jackson, right? And even some people don't like Michael Jackson. You're not fucking Michael Jackson. You're not. So it's go back to building that community. Once again, if you talk about slide on niggas, but you know that you speak a certain motivational speech that relate to the hood, then you need to build that hood community. Collaborate with other artists in that community, similar underground artists that have a similar message to you. Go to conventions around, go to like street convention shows on the internet, do podcasts that speaks for that. And then you can build that community, and at least your community can rock with you. I predict in a few more years, you're not going to get many pop stars. I think the reason why we had pop stars back then, because if you think about it, you had the only way you could consume music was radio, maybe a video game, TV, social media was rocky. So it was a very small window. So we only had a very small select of artists. And out of that very small select of artists, one can make one or two or three of them could be a pop star. Today it's spreading. I got millions of playlists, millions of podcasts, millions of niches, millions of this. Our attention is spreading. I think it's going to be very hard to even get a traditional pop star anyway. So I think you're better off creating that community. And if you meant to be a pop star later, then build from there. But I think start with community. Never trust the consumer. The consumer is only as smart as the outlet they have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if this plays song and it's the only thing they play songs, then the consumer's going to come here. You don't want to make the consumer go outside of their natural habitat, their natural tendency. So like prime example, a lot of reasons why underground artists fell at, they'll try to make a club banger, right? If you have no connection, just think of this, right? Just think of this. I'm not even that big. I'm making money. I'm
did a video on
I'm
this.
not a pop artist. If I make a club banger, who the fuck gonna hear it? In what club? I don't know anyone to get in the club. I'm making a club banger. Who fuck gonna hear it? I got no connection with no clubs. Right. You know what I mean? And ain't nobody gonna go out there. Wait, if I'm making a club banger and my club banger don't get played in clubs, why would I expect someone to come from somewhere else to come to a club banger song that's not in the club?
Fresh off of work.
Yeah, you want to put your music where your fans are going to be. That's why I said to go back to that niche or that comic book. If you know you talk about, or the street rapper, the sliding rapper, if you talk about motivation in your music for the streets, and it's a podcast where people that may not follow that podcast for music, but maybe the host, he talk about motivation for the streets, you get your music placed in there, it's with somewhere they're going to be already, and it's something they most likely like.
No, Eric, but that's too much work, bro. Cause I gotta find the podcast that does motivational speaking for me to send my music to him. That's too much work, bro. I'm gonna make this club banger because that's what I want to do. Me trying to figure out DJs to send this song to. It's too much work, bro.
I don't know, no DJ.
I do this for the art. People it's gonna get the plays because people like it.
If you think that, then maybe you don't care about money at all. And if you ain't willing to do it, take it out the game. Do me a favor, get out the game. Easy for me. So
no, bro.
Less competition. No. This shit ain't hard, bro. This shit is not hard. Bro. Bro, me and you literally spoke from the inbox. No magical, airy-fairy, mystical. It's not hard. Niggas is just lazy, bro. Get out the game. If you can't do that, do me and a lot of other serious independent artists a favor. Get out the game then. Or just do it strictly for your bedroom and your homies. That's fine too. If it's just a hobby, cool. But it's not that hard in fucking 2023. It's just you got to think a little different outside the box. I'm literally, the advantage I got over people, every artist trying to come through the front door, I'm sneaking in the window. That's the difference. And I'm teaching people this in the course, how to sneak through the window. Ain't a lot of people trying to sneak through the window. But you better hurry up. Keep buying my courses. Everybody gonna figure this shit out, right? You know what I mean?
I love it. Yeah, you definitely know what you're talking about. You definitely
Yeah, you know, because like most people, like, let's keep it G. Y'all know about this stuff. Most of the stuff I'm saying, you just got to get a course to get this. I'm telling you this shit easy. So you know what the course gonna be like. I'm telling you this, like this. I ain't hiding nothing or ooh. So it's easy. You know, do this.
There you go. Information over attention. I always tell people, man. Information
over attention.
The information is key. That's super clutch, man. Like I said, I'm asking questions like I'm hearing you talking. I'm just asking questions as like a legit fan, thinking about scenarios, thinking about, you know, the youngins, because you know, I teach and I coach, and then, you know, I have a lot of youngins who came up through my programs, and they're 19, 20, 21, and they're rapping now. And I'm thinking from their situation, their scenario, and I'm like, they could use your course, literally, because they're in that cycle. Like we talked about, going to get some money from the street or doing something, going to the studio, not knowing what to do after they go to the studio, and they just stuck, and they just think, and I keep telling them, those views and all that stuff is a lie, because you're 17 rapping, you're still in school, you're seeing thousands of people every day.
Yes.
So you're on their mind. But when you turn 18, 19, 20, that those girls they start dating the dudes that you consider square now, or they start dating the frat bros, they go off to college and all that stuff, and now those views are at 200 and you ain't got no strategy. Like get his course. Get his course.
And I show step by step too. So it's not just a bunch of scattered, you just scatter around just looking at shit. I got it like from like, I took myself back. I was like, Eric, before you was the best rapper of all times that people may not already know yet. So I started from like square one, and I thought how I was, and I brought it back up all the way into now, all the way to the point you can monetize. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like square one. And not only is it the good part about it is a membership site, so I can always update. So I might remember something right now talking here and be like, oh shit, let me put this in chapter 1. So it's gonna always update too. It's never gonna be like just here and then 3 years later it's gonna be dated. So it's always updating as well too. So
like it's like a living, breathing course.
And every time I learn something new, I update it too. Even time I learn something new, I just update it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. You got something for him, bro?
No, but I might steal that.
Steal what you want to steal, man. Steal what you want to steal. I steal from greats too. I steal from greats too, man. I still steal. I like what y'all doing too, man. I've been watching y'all, man. I've been studying all, looking at y'all studying. I'm a geek about this, even outside of music. I study great. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's why I love like these conversations, this community, because like Dom and I say, like, bro, we gonna end up being successful with it because we just make mistakes at a fast rate, and we just gonna see what don't work, and then see what does work, and then just sometimes you stumble upon stuff that works, and then when you're also studying and analyzing too, like, so he's studying something, I'm studying another thing, then we come together and it's like, all right, you take what you've been learning over there, the mistakes that you've been learning, the mistakes you've been making. Like, I was about to post a video. I was about to spend a lot of time making content in that way, and he was like, "No, that just don't perform well because of algorithm XYZ." So that stopped me from getting, you know what I'm saying? But if we didn't communicate, or if we didn't talk or have that community, then I would have spent the next 6 months literally creating content like that, trying to push it, and then get hit for no reason, bro.
And then that came from me doing it and messing up. Like Kirk done told me, Dom, look, you know, when you posted that, it didn't do this because you did this, you know. So we but that, you know, it goes back to community. Like, that's another thing too, Kurt, in the Black community. For some reason, it's said a lot oh, I can't go into business with my friends, or I can't do this with the homies. Somebody gonna try to snake. Somebody gonna try to do this to me or do that to you. People you don't know are gonna do that.
Yep.
Anybody can do that. Your family can do that.
Right.
It's just it might hurt more when it's the homie or family. So you avoiding something that could be really, really good because you anticipate it could turn really, really bad. That's a bad way to think.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. And like Eric said, if you study, you can study friends who are in business together.
Mhm.
You can study family who. That's one thing. You can't mix family and business. Like Walmart.
Yeah, man, we gotta stop as a whole, bro. We gotta stop this like narcissistic. I can do everything on my. That's just stupid. Nothing successful can do everything on your own. We gotta stop this narcissistic type mentality. Just because you my homie, that don't make your words less valuable. Like, listen to the words. Stop judging homies. Listen to what they're saying. If it makes sense, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Your words are not less valuable because I know you. You know what I mean? But have you ever heard somebody, right? Because I'm pretty sure y'all seem like very informational brothers. You ever told someone you knew like something real profound, right? And they don't really hear it. And then they hear someone famous say a bullshit version, and they'll come back to you with the same shit. And like, they said this. And you like, I said that and plus more. And I told you the real because I love you.
Right.
They told you the
just
bullshit
posted about
version.
that today, right?
Yes.
You just posted about that today.
Literally. And
I didn't even see that. See, like great minds think alike. I didn't even see that.
No, that's crazy you say that because it's like, all right, I told you this in January. It's now July. So that means I've been holding this information in and we have not been moving forward on this information for over half a year. You had to hear it in damn July. You know what I'm saying?
The watered down version. That
miraculous. Bro. I'm about to stop. Hey, I'm about to stop bull jiving, bro. Real talk, bro. I was watching this video, man. Diddy said we got to stop tripping, bro. We got to get on our grind. We got to do this. And Kirk like,
you look like nigga.
So I don't tell you that all the time,
bro.
In detail,
with a plan. But it's Diddy though, bro. Got $1 billion.
Oh man, how you think I think people don't study how did he get the $1 billion? How, like, what were the steps to
Harlem shaking, bro? You can't Harlem shake.
Yeah, then he just woke up. He had a bill. He just woke up and was there. You know what I mean? Woke up.
So, do you think artists? What should take like artists and posting and like the frequency that they need to be posting and having a social media presence in 2023 and beyond?
Let's go back to that community thing I say, my friend. Mm-hmm. So this is what we do. We post shit that no one cares about. I ate food today. I got some shoes today. If you ate comic book, okay, y'all know about engagement, right? Mm-hmm. What will have the higher chance of getting more engagement? If I have 100,000 random people that follow me, some might like my music, some just follow me. And let's say I post about a comic book. Mind you, it's just 100,000 random people that follow me. Now you take another page B. Maybe they got 30,000 followers, but mostly all of them like that comic book community. And then I'll post an insider joke in the comic book world. What do you think is going to get more engagement and can make more money down the line? Comic book B or random 100,000 person A?
Comic book B for sure.
Yeah. And not only that, I can flip that into merch sales. I can flip that to them getting to my YouTube channel and I can build that community. So basically what I'm trying to say is we need to have an intentional community plan. And if you post about what your community like, it'll be better and you'll get more out of the algorithm than just posting random. You know what I mean? It really.
I'm about to use this.
I'm telling y'all, man.
I want to salute my boy Kirk here because it's, I just really jumped into this entrepreneurial thing because I still work. And, I come from a sales background. So I'm used to just selling. And he told me, stop. He said, bro, I wouldn't even talk prices. I wouldn't even tell people to buy my stuff. Bro, content, you know how to do this, you know how to do that. I would just post results and post the content that support your post. Bro, I've been doing that. It was happy September. But bro, this month I'm not gonna say what I told him because I don't know who watching.
Right.
But it's something I told him yesterday. He said, "See, you getting that itch." That's all I'm gonna say. He know what I'm saying, but it works. So I always tell him salute, and I always say, "Bro, I don't be liking what you say, but you be right." Because my thing is, bro, how my man ain't gonna know? Hey, bro, get the course. It's only $37. Nah, bro. Or they leave you on red. But if I post a testimonial, man, salute the Dom, or what bruh showed me, helped me with this, or if I post a clip of Eric Stackz telling you that you need to build a community, and I put the link to my course in that clip, and it's like, hey, learn how to do this, do that, then it all makes sense now versus y'all need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy this. Why? It goes back to the music. Why I need to buy it.
Yeah. Like,
so y'all right, bro.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. Eric hit the nail on the head. It's that adding value and educating. So, like, just from listening to this alone, people are going to watch this and be like, bro, any 60-second clip we put up, they're going to know he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, I pride myself being the human gem dropper. Like, the whole thing's going to be gems, not just like a little piece. You know, y'all watch those videos, maybe like out of an hour, you get like 3 gems at best. Yeah. Nah, ain't none of this over here. All gems.
All gems. So now, yeah, bro.
I got more questions. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this because you kept saying you said it a bunch of times about your music got to be decent, and you say you actually listen and you actually come up with a plan and strategy for them to monetize based off of their brand. Has anyone ever sent you something and you was like, I don't know what to do with this, and you said, I'm sorry, I can't help you?
The vast majority. I'll be real with you. The vast majority.
Listen, y'all. So you turned down bread because you couldn't help them?
Now, I'm not going to necessarily take the bread, but I'll just be real with them. It depends on what they want to do. So if they come to me like, hey,
I'm saying you turned down bread, not took the bread. Like, basically, people that say, hey, can you help me? You didn't look at it as an opportunity to be like, man, buy my course, because you know what you do after that. You have to listen to it. You have to come up with a plan. So I'm asking directly, like, has there been times people sent you stuff and you say you can't do nothing with this, and you just was like, he got to go somewhere else or go work on it or make this better and come back?
It depends on what because I can't teach you how to rap as well. But if they was to come to me like, hey, I want to market this song, or I want to like market and build the fans, and then I hear the music and the music not good, I'll just be like, look, honestly, you got to get the music better before we get to that step.
What's not good music?
You said what?
What's not good music?
I listen to a lot of good music, and of course it's subjective, but I'm 21 years in the game. I listen to everything. I'm not really gun-ho to one genre. I have my own personal genre, but I listen to everything. So what I do is I compare you to your respective genre. So what a lot of people make the mistake, a lot of other rap coaches, they might be a hip-hop head. So if you rap like Juice WRLD, you automatically trash to them. Or they might be on Tupac and Biggie, so you rap like Lil Pump, you automatically trash them. I don't judge you against Tupac, Biggie. If I hear you rap like Lil Pump, I'm going to judge you to people in Lil Pump. So then I ask myself, how do you stack up with people in your respective genre? If the mixing low, I can't imagine you being played right after the person you're in, then you need some work. Then it's bad. I don't judge it based off of like, oh, lyrical miracle. Now, if you now I do hold standards different. If you want to be a lyrical miracle spiritual person, hey, well, I'm gonna hold it even harder for you then, unfortunately. So you want to sound like fucking Lupe, I'm gonna compare you to Lupe. And if you're way under Lupe, not even in his ballpark, I'm gonna tell you need some more work. So that's how I judge it on good and bad. And so that's how I do it. Yeah. I compare you to your genre and see how you stack up. And if you sound just not even like you deserve to be in the league with them, then you need some work.
and you can teach people how to rap.
Mm.
That's cool. So like if I am, what are some of, with your criteria, what are some of the elements that you believe make somebody like a good rapper in terms of like the actual rapping outside of the branding?
I'll say the qualities. Okay, granted, you could be a good rapper but not be a rapper. You could be not a rapper but you can be a star. So I look for star qualities first. So like, let's say if I was taking you from a little bit, let's say you just a little dude that know how to freestyle a little bit. Okay, boom. I'm taking you from, because you gotta have a little something there. Let's be a little something there. But let's say you just a young cat and you just know how to freestyle a little bit, but you never really wrote a song. The first thing I'm listening to is your voice. No, well, first thing, do you have a good acumen for picking beats? So can you pick good beats? Then I listen to your voice, like the tone of your voice. Then I listen to your confidence. Are you confident with that? If you can get those, you can teach people how to write lyrics and write and song structure. But those are the main things I'll look for. So Eric was looking to sign a fresh artist. First, I'm gonna look, do you have a natural ear for beats? Is your voice, you got that voice, and you got that rhythm and that confidence. If you got that, I think anything else around that, you can make a star. Even if he ain't the most lyrical, I think you can at least make them a star or an artist. You know what I mean? I know some dudes that's lyrical as fuck and their voice is terrible, the beats are terrible, the hooks are terrible. A lot of hip hop dudes, they try to pride themselves on can rap, but they suck in everything else around it. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I do it.
Because you talking about rapper styles and stuff. I started watching your critiques on the Double XL Cypher. What do you think of Lil Tyler?
I honestly don't even know which one that is.
That was the light-skinned one with the curly hair.
Oh, I think he was the least talented out of all of them. You said what?
It's something about him though.
To me, it's his voice, his delivery. He don't sound like he's confident in what he's saying. He sound like he don't believe what he's saying. That's the main thing to me. He just sound like he don't believe what he's saying.
How do you think he?
Yeah, well, Baby Kodak, ain't he? Let me say that.
Yeah, that's the one from Florida. Yeah, but he's interesting to me because like how you study. I was like, all right. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard him, do you watch the On My Block freestyles where they put the mic in the hood?
I've seen some similar stuff to that.
Yeah,
or that type of content.
The more popular one that gets the millions of views, On My Block or whatever. So he was 16 2 years ago. And they started the video out. Lil Tyler wasn't old enough to go into the strip club, so they had his outside. So he's outside the strip club, and they got the mic. There's a pole, and there was a girl dancing, and he was just. And I'm like, there's something about this that's gonna work. And then we get the Law and Order freestyles. Then we get the Law and Order 2. Then we get the Jada Waiter. Then we get, and I'm like, oh, this kid is bubbling. Then he gets the Kodak cosign. Then he gets the, and what I found out is he understands content. He does these interviews and they clip up the hot points, they title it, and they put his music behind it. And I was like, his team is doing,
and he is decent. Like, granted, I haven't heard a lot of them. If I heard from the freestyle, he do sound decent enough that if you know how to,
like, he's funny too. Like he was. I dropped out of school. He said, "Oh nah, I started rapping and I felt like this was gonna work, so I dropped out." I just dropped out of school. I said, "F this school stuff. I'm about to just rap." I was like, he was like, nah, bro. I just felt like it was gonna work, so I just dropped out of school. See stuff like that. It's not good advice, but content.
Yeah, content and purposeful content. Not only content, but purposeful.
I mean, we don't know if that's true. We don't know if it's real, but he knew to say that.
Right. I think. Do you, because you said if you were to work with, an artist or a brand new artist, One thing I like to do, I'm a sports person. We talk
Mhm.
like fantasy drafts and things are coming up. You got people in different positions, right? Let's say you have um, a young artist that you're working with and like a more seasoned artist that you're working with. Somebody who's nice with it, but they have like family. You know what I'm saying? They have
Mhm.
family, they have a job, they are that policeman, but they nice with the rap.
Mhm.
How do you approach them versus working with the young 16-year-old who just everything fresh, no obligations on nothing?
I'll say like the person that got like basically the one that's nice with it. I'm assuming he's probably a little older. He got commitment that's hard to break. He's gonna really have to double down on the internet, and he's gonna have to be more intentional with his movements and the way he make moves. Now, the good part about it, if he is a policeman and if he is a little older, then the good part is his fans they're gonna have more money.
Mm,
So it's gonna go back to the same thing. Granted, the strategies I teach you, everybody's judged off your particular fans. Everybody's gonna have different success levels, of course. But if you are that guy, the policeman, you got to be real with yourself too. You're probably not going to go pop if you're a little older. You got to be real with yourself, but you can still be successful. I'll say like that person will have to double down in it even harder and be very just same thing. Just be very clear with his message. And the fact that he got family, he just might personally be more pickier on shows. Like let's say he gets to the point doing shows. That's going to be up to his picky level, but it's still the same thing. Double down on the internet. Put that time in on the internet. And the only difference I think between the 16, I mean, shit, even a 16-year-old, he's limited just for age. So it really ain't much of a big difference, just a different struggle. He might not can do a show because he's just too young.
yeah.
So it's pretty much the same thing. It's going to boil down to you just being picky about what shows you're going to take and what shows you're not going to take. You most likely, if you care about your family and you prioritize family, you might have to be real. The traditional route might not be for you. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of independent artists that don't necessarily take the traditional route.
Okay.
So the teachings will be the same. It'll just be up to you. Like when you hit that threshold where you're doing shows, that's up to you how picky you want to take them or not. But it's still the same. It ain't much of a big difference.
I'm time stamping that. Hope you see me looking out to the side because I'm time stamping that. Because that's something that I think about. I always like because I do investing, so I always like to think about okay, what happens if this thing goes all the way left, and how can I manage that? And then what happens if this thing goes all the way right? So I always say, artists, you're a little older, you got a family. Think about if you got that call right now. Hey, come to New York, sign this paper, and you in a recital. You ain't even ready for that.
Yeah.
You're not even, or you've been putting in so it takes you so much to get to the studio, but you ain't got your paperwork right. You ain't got no entertainment lawyer. You ain't got stuff copyrighted. You ain't even ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you said that so that like people can see like, okay, I might have to, like you said, double down on the internet because I might only see 20 people in real life every single day versus a 16-year-old who see 2,000 people.
And then the good thing about it too, if you're older, I like to believe that it's easier to find your niche. It's easier to be more versatile on having your side niche, being able to speak more, doubling down on the internet, telling stories that relate to your crowd. You know what I mean? So it's definitely both of them. There's no perfect age if you're talking really young or a little more older. It's just about picking your poison and knowing that your career goal is not going to probably look like the 16-year-old guy, the 25-year-old guy. And you have to accept that and move that works for you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And last for me, what do you think about hip hop turning 50? Do you think we're in an era now where we have literally 50-year-old adults who are born into hip hop? Do you think we're in an era now where hip hop is starting to be more expansive and we're not aging people out like we used to back in the days?
Oh, totally. Like, I think that age shit, that shit don't matter. Now, I don't want to oversell this miraculous story. If you planning on being the next Bad Bunny or Drake and you're a little older, the likelihood of that is low. I'm just gonna keep it G. The likelihood of that's low. But as far as successful, make a living and can get rich, yes, it's still open. But once again, it's going back to like I said, you're gonna have to be real with yourself. If I'm 40, I shouldn't be rapping like a 16-year-old. I should probably rap for 40-year-olds. Build a brand around what 40-year-old people like me go through. Then go back to the same thing, build your niche, talk to them, and then get your money there. And just accept that. I'm not saying it's impossible for you to be the next Drake, but just be real. Most likely it's not. But if you're mostly doing it for the love and you want to make a living and make money, it's super open, if more open than ever. You know what I mean?
Word.
My last question. What advice do you have for the rapper right now that's saying, I don't know if I really still want to do this, bro. Like, ain't nobody listening to me. Nobody clicking on my music. I've been going to the studio. I've been posting my music. I don't know if I still want to do this, bro. Like, I'm gonna take a break. It's not going how I want to.
I'll say first, you must have bought my course. Buy my course first. Do that for about a year, and then see what you think after that. I'll say that, because a lot of times when people doing that, they just need to see a little bit of momentum. So a lot of times they probably been at a dead, stale space for so long that they lose a lot of motivation. I can almost guarantee you that if you put the work in, you're gonna see some results in my course fast. Like, I'm not saying blow up overnight. Everybody at different levels. Even if you're at, let's say, if you're at square zero, right? Or, no, I ain't gonna say square zero. Let's say you fucking with the music a little bit, but you're a little bit reckless. You don't know what you're doing. I can almost guarantee you that you'll start seeing some results really fast if you take my course. So I'll probably say, not even to just joke. I mean, y'all hear me dropping these gems on here. Imagine the course. Try my course for a few months. Really lock in. Really put your all. I'll say at least about 6 months to a year, and then revisit that thought in your mind. Because if they said that, they most likely just don't know where to go. It's frustrating. They're not seeing no momentum. They're trying everything they think they're supposed to try, and they're not getting nowhere. A lot of times they see that little bit of momentum. It builds that little bit of belief. Like, oh, okay. I mean, I ain't getting okay. I've been doing this for a month. I got 500 more followers. It's not the biggest in the world, but damn, I seen it move. I had 50 last month. Oh, shit, 3 months I got 500. It's not the biggest, but I'm seeing, oh, so maybe if I double down on this, maybe if I do that, it'll build that motivation. It's like when you try to lose weight. The first beginning sucks. You ain't seeing no results. You eating good. You're like, you doing this shit for no reason. Then you put your head down. You check next week. You lose a pound. And you like, it's just a pound, but I moved in the right direction. And each time it just builds that little bit of motivation. So I'll say, even if it ain't me, try somebody else's course that you believe in, and then try that, and then do it for a couple minutes, do it for a couple months to a year, dedicate it, and then see how you feel about that. And if you still feel that way, it ain't for you. You never did it for the love. You just mostly did it for clout.
I love it. That's what I was waiting on. Tell them to quit.
Quit, because then that means you're more
you're
clout driven more than the love. I honestly believe, like, honestly, if you don't love music, I wouldn't even recommend nobody do music. Music is the dumbest shit from a business standpoint to do, honestly, in my opinion. If you don't have built-in connections, even if you do, I think if you're doing it strictly for clout and money, music is the dumbest shit to do, I think, honestly, from a business standpoint. So I do think you need to come in with love first. So when the tough get going, you'll still have that foundation of love. It's kind of like what you were saying about the family. Like, family can screw you too, and a stranger can screw you. But the difference with your family is at least there's an extra foundation of love that'll make it harder for them to screw you. You know what I mean? Than opposed to someone strictly business, they'll screw you as soon as it get tough. If I'm your brother and we decent, I'm not saying I'm incapable of screwing you, but it'll be very hard because we got that extra glue of love. So I feel like you mostly should do this shit for love and then want the money after. If you're doing this for money and clout first, and you probably should quit if you ain't seeing it anyway. Just quit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Finally.
Let's say, bro.
Yeah, man. Bro. You're a walking gym, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, you drop gems. Always look. You know, they say I'm not too far from Chicago. I'm originally from East Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And so when I moved down south, you know, people, they talk a lot slower. The pace is a lot slower. So they think when you talking fast, you city slicker. You ain't talking no good.
I talk fast.
No, so I'm saying, like,
no, I'm
I
just
talk
wondering,
fast too. You talk fast, but it's because I could tell your brain is computing and calculating and really spitting out answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the same way. Like, when I talk fast, that's when I'm really in my bag. I'm like,
it's getting it out, like,
yeah. It's just gym after gym after gym. So like, bro, I rock with it. I got some chills, and I'm gonna try some stuff that you said too, and I'm gonna
Yeah, you can hit me personally too, man. I'll share the info, man. You know, I ain't got nothing to hide. You can hit me personally too, inbox me, whatever. Call me.
For sure. Appreciate you, man.
We definitely gonna link. We definitely gonna do that.
Where y'all at right now? If y'all mind saying where y'all at. I'm in Vegas right now.
South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
All right, man. That was Shock the Culture.
Eric Stackz. Yes,
Eric
Jim
Stackz.
Lord.
Your boy.
Yes, sir.